he wasn't always Satan. That's why I asked you, and I had the knowledge of the origin of spirits when I asked you the question, because I asked other pagans the same thing. What is the origin of these gods you worshiping? Because I know they do things for you, but if you don't know the origin, you can't say for sure what they're not.
But
and I'm going to say
know the origin of the Bible. I mean, that's the
saying,
problem there. You know,
let me make my point, because I can answer those questions if you really want to get the answers to them. My point is, you have to realize when he fell, he wasn't Satan. He was Lucifer originally. And he tempted with good and evil.
And that's according to one mythology,
So let me say this. So even when you go into witchcraft, which our people were forbidden to deal with, but the Gentiles were dealing with it. When you go into witchcraft, of course there's good and evil witchcraft. Why? Because that is the tree that was presented. So yeah, there's going to be a good part, but there's a very dark part too, and it's one God over both parts. My problem now is, and maybe we can talk about this, is the same way Christians are denying their origin of paganism. Pagans are denying their origin God, which is the fallen enlightened
deny the origin
Lucifer.
that's attributed to us by Christians or by the Bible, and we dispute, the scientists.
But I go beyond the Bible scrolls, because I go into the scrolls before they were translated.
Well, nevertheless,
the Bible is just an English translation of ancient scrolls. But I speak Hebrew. I went into the Hebrew scrolls. I got the Hebrew scrolls.
Right, but that's still the same people trying to push the same monotheistic agenda.
Well, you notice I didn't push it.
No, the same.
We have to still
saying
conversation.
That's the only way. Everybody else is evil. Anybody who does anything else, their way is mixed with evil, but our way is pure. Well, why we don't skip a single book. We don't think one book can give us the truth. And
I understand
a book that advertises itself as that. That's just, you can advertise anything and people will believe you, but is it really? Well, we test it against our experience of the world. We test it against what science is learning about the world, and we find that it's, the truth is just a lot deeper than that. It's a compendium of many sources, the Bible is, but it's not the be-all and end-all, and it's convenient and easy to think it is to have that one answer for everything, like having one instruction manual. That's great if you got one computer, but what if you got a bunch of different computers that you got to fix? Then there's going to be a bunch of different instruction manuals, and that's just the nature of the universe. It's diverse. It's poly. It's not mono. So that's how we feel about it. And people are always trying to accuse us of being evil or dabbling with something dark. But we know better than that, because we have the courage to actually explore the occult and find that it's not as scary as people think. People shut it off because it's powerful. They wall it off because it's powerful, but it's powerful because it reaches into your very heart. It's founded on love. It's founded on harmony and the principles, the same principles in music. That's what the occult is based on. I'll just put that out there. It would take a whole other show.
Brother, real quick, I like to say this because, listen, like I said earlier, I'm not here to accuse you of anything. Oh, I told you we disagree with this from the beginning. But what I'm saying, listen, but I humbly respect the fact that you are willing to admit what you're dealing with. But like I said, I wanted to put it out there that there's two sides to the tree of good and evil. So usually, you know what, and it's ironic myself, and I'm going to let Josh back in. I'm glad he called. Ironically, since I have dealt with pagans, because I've dealt with Christians too, I've never met a pagan witch who said that they were one of the bad ones. They all said
I've never met a Christian.
that they were good. You understand? So, but yet when I asked the question that can it be used for evil, everyone said the same thing, yeah. But I haven't met a bad witch yet who have admitted it. So what I'm saying is, according to what we believe and we have the right to, if we don't do, of course it's powerful. Lucifer once was a high archangel next to the Most High himself.
Step away from that mythology. Step into something deeper is what I'm saying.
Brother,
you can find...
Brother, when you talk about Pan, don't you know Pan is written in Greek and Roman mythology?
It means, Pan, the word means all, yeah.
I'm saying, I ain't talking about the word. So if you want to talk about mythology, I can pull up to Roman mythology and Latin mythology right now, and every name you mention is in Greek mythology. So you can't say, let's step out of mythology when everything you said tonight was part of ancient Greek and Roman myths. No, it's not just.
It's reflected there, but it's also based on experience, on my experience.
But
we have, that's the ultimate test.
Steve, we have experiences too, though.
Yeah, and I bet they're not that from mine.
And our experiences just don't come from us believing something that we read it.
Well, I would hope
not. You have to understand. By the same token, how you've seen your God, we've seen the power of our God. So there's a mutual respect here. We can have a conversation, but you just can't push off what we believe is myth because we have seen greater things, brother.
But you're speaking now from your experience, your personal experience. That's what I'm saying. But when you start talking about pagans dabbling with Lucifer, that's not in your experience. That's just that's what the book tells you.
But my experience confirms the book.
In many parts, but it won't confirm that part. I can guarantee you. I can guarantee you it will not.
I guarantee you that book confirms our part. And let me say this, brother, and I just wanted to put this out there when it comes to mythology. Let's put that to the side, because everything I've spoken to you was based on knowledge and understanding all night, and history all night. So let's not just push it off. The Bible is not just a mythological book. Okay? And that brings the disagreement, because now you are doing what you claim Christians been doing. Let's just say what you believe, and we believe what we believe. Now, whether or not you would want to accept that, listen, if your God did all these good things for you and was Satan, it wouldn't be a big deal, because that's your God.
Well, Satan's not our God. That's a Christian God, and maybe Muslim too. But
listen. If you believe Satan is a myth, what's the big deal?
Well, I wouldn't want to believe in a myth. I mean, something that's merely a myth. It wouldn't do me much good, would it?
All right. Well, let's let it be. I'm going to yield because I came into Josh, but I couldn't hold myself. I'm going to restrain. Go ahead, Josh. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It's cool, man. It's all good. Yeah, Steve, I just want to make clear, like, I haven't called in today to attack paganism in any way, shape, or form. Well, the reason why I called in is to give and to share my understanding with you and the listeners in terms of what I've discovered through research, and a lot of my research has led to this Madame Blavatsky.
Well, she's a figure, yeah, but she's not a Satan worshiper. No.
Okay, well, I'll tell you the information that I've got on her. I know that Hitler respected a lot of her writings, a huge amount. He even said in one of his speeches that we will wash off the Christian veneer. They use Christianity as a way to go to war. Now, I'm going to end very, very quickly, because I just want to get this point out. Yeah. Now, one of Madame Blavatsky's predecessors, she's called Alice A. Bailey. Yeah.
Oh,
she's actually she plays. You've heard of her? She plays some part in United Nations today. Yeah. She's a woman quite. Yeah. If you look it up, you'll find out she's quite a big head.
Well,
yeah. Now,
for many
now,
decades.
let me cutting back to the point. Yeah, one of their 10 strategies. Yeah, for implementing, and I'll call it Satanism because I am entitled to my belief, and that is what I believe ultimately it is. Yeah, but all these spirits that are in the earth, according to my understanding and belief, are from Satan. Yeah, all the spirits in the earth today being worshipped. Yeah, now
that's rather prejudiced.
Now,
well,
like I said, it's my opinion, but let me just focus on these strategies that she wanted to implement. Yeah. One of them is push God out of the schools. Yeah? It says people must be free to abort unwanted children. If a man can have sex and then live without the consequences, then the same should be true for a woman. Yeah, and I'm not going to read through all 10, but I'll come to...
You can tie anything together and make out a big conspiracy about it, but it's really...
guys, let me just make a quick announcement real quick. We're down to the final 10 minutes of the live show. We're going to go into overtime after the 10 minutes. So for the people tuning in via the Skype, now would be a good time to Skype in. Or you can call in. You're locked into the Search Engine International. I'm your host, Gocc. We have Elder Rakar. We have Steve Rasmussen, who's a pagan. And we have Brother Josh on the phone lines at this minute. What else? Did I miss anything? Well, yes, we have a few more callers here that's waiting to come in. We have 9 minutes left. Sorry, Brother Josh, I'll put it back to you.
Right, one of the last points I'm going to make real quick because my phone is about to die now. One of her points that she's been quoted to have said is diffuse religious radicalism, destroy Christianity. Christianity says that Jesus is the only way. Diffuse this by A, silencing Christianity, and B, by promoting other faiths, the creation of interfaith harmony. Yeah? And the last point, and like I said, I haven't gone through all 10 points, the last point says, and it does talk about the homosexual agenda also, the last point says, in this 10-point plan, which Madame Blavatsky has written, says, get the church to endorse every one of these 9 strategies, get the church to accept these principles and say that they are okay. Then legal ground is given for these values to get a foothold. And I think this has a lot to do with the question that Elder Rakar asked, in opposed to, okay, when did pagans begin to lift up their head again? When did they stop getting thrown on the fire, so to speak? Because we know that history speaks of this, and now people have the right to practice whatever faith or religion that they want. It's that simple, and all I'm saying is the reason why I brought them points out, so I don't want to go to and fro with you and on, because
I doubt she wrote any of those things. That sounds like Protocols of the Elder of Zion stuff, you know. I mean, there's a whole right-wing industry devoted to manufacturing that kind of propaganda and tying it all together into one world conspiracy, you know, when really there are much more obvious and dangerous conspiracies going on in the headlines every day. But anyway, go on.
Okay, well, no, that's it, and I just wanted to, and I'll say it again, if anybody wants to research this for themselves, if it's your opinion that it's a conspiracy, then by all means you're entitled to that. You're entitled to that opinion. But what I find very interesting, and the reason why I brought that information forth, is because these 10 strategies of nearly almost every single one of them have been enforced.
Well, somebody
even
probably
to the point,
wrote
even to the point where, pardon?